Hey YouTube! So we actually have a lot to talk about today, and we're trying to cram 2 weeks of stuff into 1 week. Because as you guys know, the kids had their turn last week, and we got to find out about their love lives and all that crazy stuff, which is, Brian, I don't think, did a very good job telling you Selena cannot date. She cannot date till high school. That's the rule in the house.
Yeah, so it's very hard for Jay to hold his tongue for a whole week. So we have 2 weeks worth of stuff to unload on.
Yeah. So the first thing, obviously, the most important thing that happened this last week was the Supreme Court. They've actually taken up the marriage equality case again. And as you guys know, this is probably the final case when it comes to marriage equality. Whichever way the court goes will probably determine what happens with marriage equality for the next, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 years down the road.
And that is a really scary thought.
So basically there's 4 states that have brought new cases to the court. And as you guys all know, there's pretty much 3 liberal judges and 3 conservative judges. And then there's Kennedy in the middle who kind of swings back and forth depending on what the topic is. Now, Kennedy has always been a supporter of LGBT rights. And, you know, he has a clear conscience when it comes to supporting us. And I pretty much think that he will support us again in this case. I also think that Justice John Roberts will support us. So I'm thinking it's going to be a 4-3 split.
But
5-2 split.
I mean, from my point of view with Prop 8, I mean, you just never count your chickens until they have actually
Well, this isn't Prop 8. This is marriage equality. So it comes down to states' rights versus the individual rights.
It's just really hard to predict something in the positive now for me and just be comfortable that it's going to play out that way.
Well, we'll know in June because they're coming back with their ruling in June, and we will have the final say from the court whether they feel like marriage equality is a constitutional right that LGBT people have, which we all know that it is. Because if there's nothing that's more important to individuals is the right to marry the person you love. And that's kind of where we stand on that.
So have you been listening to any of the recordings or live blogs?
Yes. The bigot Scalia had some pretty nasty well, I don't know about nasty comments, but he always has his 2 cents to put in. And he made a kind of inappropriate joke, which kind of made me sick.
Crazy bigots are acting like crazy bigots?
Yeah.
Surprise!
There was a guy in the audience that was screaming, you know, if you support gay marriage, you're going to go to hell. And then Scalia cracked the most inappropriate joke that I could think of.
Yeah, so as they're dragging this screaming man out of the courtroom, he says, well, that was rather refreshing, actually.
Yeah. So I guess he thinks the bigot screaming, we're going to burn in hell, is refreshing. So we kind of know where Scalia stands and what he thinks of gay people, and it just reconfirms it by his sense of humor. Now on to other bigots, since we're still being political. We had 3 more Republicans throw their hat into the ring for their potential race for the 2016 presidential nomination, and all 3 of these guys, what's that saying, when pigs fly, have no chance in hell to be the Republican nominee for president. You've got Carly Fiorina, I'm off with names, who was a loser here in California, who backed Prop 8, who is a total bigot. She's a female, and she has no chance of ever getting nominated in the Republican Party. Then we have Mr. Ben Carson, who's an anti-gay conservative radio host who's never been elected to anything, but that the Republicans love because he's black, and they can put him up on the stage. It makes them all look less racist. And then we have my personal favorite, the preacher from the South, Michael Huckabee.
Huckabee.
Brian, it's not Huckabee, he's a Huckabee.
It drives me nuts.
He's as ignorant as his name sounds, and so he has thrown his hat in the ring. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th time that he's tried to get the nomination for president.
You know, the thing that scares me the most is actually Jeb Bush, because the name Bush does have positive resonations within a certain group of Republican voters. Yeah. And he has just announced that he's turning to his brother, the ex-president, to be his advisor on Middle East affairs.
Well, then, that's fine.
And it just makes me go...
His brother had no common sense when it comes to politics, so he was the president of the United States, but if Jeb Bush is looking towards his brother for advice...
You just don't turn to JW for advice on foreign affairs anywhere, let alone the Middle East, but there you go.
Now on to lighter news.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the straight and gay teen that went to the prom together. Their names were Jacob and Anthony.
Yeah, very cute couple.
And Jacob, who's straight, invited Anthony to the prom, who's gay, because they're best friends.
They know this because they've seen our last video about it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of an update. But a lot has happened for them because...
They went on Ellen.
Yay!
Yeah, they're very cute on Ellen. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link down below. They're a super cute couple.
And...
What did she give them?
$10,000
to help with their prom, which is pretty cool.
You could have an awesome prom with $10,000. What kind of limo do you get with $10,000? Would it have a hot tub in the back? What do you do with that kind of?
You put Ellen in the back.
Yeah, you have Ellen go with you to the prom.
So take a look at their prom pic real quick. Okay, super cute couple, and everything was going so great until they went to Walmart.
Why, boys? Just why?
Why go to Walmart to get your cake? Don't you? Well, I wonder if the straight guy picked Walmart.
No, I believe it was Anthony's aunt, if I remember.
Oh, she went to Walmart?
Yeah.
Okay, so they went to Walmart and they decided she wanted to make them a nice little cake, and she wanted to put on the cake the words
gay.
No, read what you want to put.
You're gay, he's straight, you're going to prom, you couldn't have a better date.
And Walmart was like, we can't put the word gay on your cake.
Why not? What if his name was Gay?
What if he was happy? I mean, it's ridiculous. Walmart refused to do it, so the aunt went to the manager refused to do it, and it's another reason why I don't shop at Walmart.
And this is in Las Vegas. There are gay people in Las Vegas, so you know.
Pretty stupid on their part, considering this couple's video and everything's gone viral. They were on Ellen, and I mean, does Walmart really just want this type of publicity? Obviously not, because Walmart has come out and said they are sorry.
And moving on to more ridiculous opinions about gay things.
We don't only pick on straight people being bigoted, we also like to pick on gay people from time to time.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody's paying attention to the controversy that's coming out of Fire Island Pines and the property owners that hosted a dinner for Ted Cruz, the gay property owners.
Two gay Republicans who not only support Ted Cruz, but they've also backed many other anti-gay Republicans by giving them fundraisers and hosting them at their residence.
So as expected, that blew up in their face terribly. And at first they tried to backpedal and say they were sorry and they weren't aware of his politics.
They had no idea about his politics.
But now, Ian Reisner has come out.
You're skipping part. The gay community in New York and in Fire Island have had a big response to his hosting Ted Cruz, and they've done a huge boycott. Now, the boycott has taken legs, and a lot of the gay community, which these guys make money off the gay community. They are selling stuff to the gay community. They are hosting events for the gay community. A lot of the people in the gay community have started to pull their fundraising events at this guy's hotel. Mm-hmm. Now, it's hurting them in the pocketbook, and we all know that gay Republicans care about one thing, their wallet. Mm-hmm. So the guy came out, and he basically tried to say he was sorry, and then when it still backfired on him, he had some really nice comments about the gay community.
Yeah. He said that we were cheap and entitled, is what he said specifically, which sounds a lot like Marie Antoinette's "Let them eat cake" to me.
Cheap and entitled.
On that note.
On to some lighter news. This week,
I've been reading all over the place about the dad bod, which, for those of you who don't know what a dad bod is, it is this.
Yeah, we have dad bods.
Yeah, so I've always been one of those guys who've kind of attracted to people that have a natural body. I don't like guys that shave everything and are
Speaking of shaving, what is going on with this?
None of your business. And like the six-pack abs, to me it's too much. It's not very real for me. So that's what's been in the media though forever. These guys that are just stacked and buffed out. Yeah. It was kind of surprising for me to see that what's becoming more of a fad in terms of what people consider an attractive man is somebody who doesn't work out every day of the week, who still has some muscles, look like they try, but you might have a little bit of pot belly, just a natural guy.
So you're happy about this trend?
I'm super happy about it, partially because I find them super attractive myself, but also because I am one.
So this year at the beach, Brian will be strutting his dad bod?
No. Yeah, but, you know, we were sexy before it was cool to be that kind of sexy, just so you know.
We've been sexy for a long time, you two.
Yeah.
Okay, now on to some lighter news because we weighed you down with a bunch of heavy stuff. There's been a couple viral videos this weekend, or this week, and I've really, really enjoyed them. I'm a huge baseball fan, and I actually love the Dodgers, so it was nice for me to see a kiss cam include a couple of gay men. Take a look at this video.
We did it better.
No, actually, I think they did it better. But the cool thing about that video is not so much that the Dodgers put them on screen like that, but was the response of the audience. And that was the part that most made me smile. I mean, it goes to show how things are completely changing when you've got young straight men asking their gay best friends to the prom, and you have men at a baseball game get cheers from the audience. And so it's truly my favorite video of the week.
Yeah, and just so that you know it's not happening here in America, Italia's Got Talent actually recently had a super sweet gay proposal. Take a look at this very short clip.
So we have performed tonight in a ring.
Hanno fatto questa performance questa sera qui.
And we were in a ring, and
erano in un cerchio.
This ring had brought us together in our work.
E questo cerchio li ha fatti
what we love.
unire nel loro lavoro, in quello che fanno di più,
And
in
I would
amore.
love to know.
No! Ti giuro! Mio Dio! Allora, prima di tutto tutti in piedi.
So, if that was me up on that stage in my sparkly silver leotards being proposed to, I think I would cry too. But that was super sweet. So,
I don't know about those outfits, though.
yeah, that was just a touch revealing for me, but...
So, to wrap this video up, I know Brian read me a story recently about Big Bird that made us both cry, and I know you wanted to share this. So.
Okay, so stop the video right now, go get yourself some tissues, and come back, because you're going to need them. So Reddit recently did an AMA with the puppeteer who does Big Bird on Sesame Street, and he was asked what his most meaningful interaction was with a child. And the response that he gave actually just floored me, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to read it.
So this is the guy who actually
tears.
plays Big Bird on TV.
And does his voice.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read it to you because I can't paraphrase it correctly. I got a letter from a fan who said his little boy, who was 5 years old, his name was Joey, and he was dying of cancer. He was so ill, and the little boy knew he was dying. So the man in his letter asked if he would call the little boy, and he said the only thing that cheered him up at all in his fading state was to see Big Bird on television. So once in a while, he wouldn't see Big Bird on some days because he wasn't necessarily in every show. So he asked if I could telephone him and talk to the boy and tell him what a good boy he's been. So I took a while to look up a phone because this was before cell phones, and they got a long cord to bring a boy to the phone to the boy. And I had Big Bird say, hello, Joey, it's me, Big Bird. So he said, is it really you, Big Bird? Yes, it is. I chatted a while with him, about 10 minutes, and he said, I'm glad you're my friend, Big Bird. And I said, I better let you go now. He said, thank you for calling me, Big Bird. You're my friend. You make me happy. And it turns out that his father and mother were sitting with him when the phone call came, and he was very, very ill that day. And they had called the parents in because they weren't sure how long he would last. So his father wrote to me right away and said, thank you. I hadn't seen him smile since October, and this was in March. And when the phone was hung up, he said, Big Bird called me, and he's my friend. And he closed his eyes, and he passed away. And I could see that what I say to children can be very important. So, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to make it through all of that.
It's a very sad story.
I think what you say to everybody is super important. And sometimes we go through our lives thinking, I'm going to see that guy 5 minutes from now, an hour from now. Sometimes you don't. So everybody in your life is special. So get out there and give somebody some love today, YouTube.
Yeah, and words matter, actions matter. And I think a lot of what we do here at Gay Family Values is hopefully trying to show people that families matter, and that no matter the family, no matter the makeup, we all matter. And we hope that you guys continue to share your stories with us. We want to continue to share our stories with you. Until next time, YouTube.
Bye.